Let us start with a short invocation for divine blessings and protection to the Supreme God, Divine Father and Divine Mother, our spiritual teachers, sacred archangels, beings of light, and to all the great ones, our I Am Presence, the great Holy Spirit, the crystalline beings of light. We humbly invoke for divine blessings, divine guidance, illumination, divine oneness, abundance, peace, prosperity, spirituality, harmony, inner healing, divine help, and divine protection. We especially call for us the blessings of the Lords of Karma and the angels of 2012. Yes, thank you in full faith. We call for us the beautiful purple net of Archangel Michael to surround our fields individually, in a group. Visualize this purple net escorting away any and all heavy energies. We call for us the vacuum, the golden vacuum of Archangel Michael, to vacuum away the fear-based energies from our system and to cut the cords which are no longer serving us. No longer serving us. Deep breaths. Let all the cords be dissolved. They're no longer serving you, draining you any and all cords of obligation, burden, resentment, guilt. You no longer need it. Let it go. Offer it to Archangel Michael. Beautiful. We ask Archangel Michael in this band of mercy to vacuum our very homes and offices, escorting all the bad luck causing energies, poverty causing energies, strain, stress causing energies. And Archangel Michael says, abundance can be truly found through peaceful living, by having a mind attuned with the spirit, and so your emotions. And we ask them to fill our bodies, our homes and offices with this blessed light, joy and peace. So it is. We give you great thanks. So namaste everyone. Welcome once again to our second event on our Ascended Crystalline Channeling. I hope you had seen the at the event page. Every time we're sending the event invites, you can see there is a certain MP3 link that you can check it into any time, where we talk about Ascended Crystals. So today we're going to work with the Blessed Ascended Master, Lady Master, the Goddess of Liberty, or the Goddess Liberta. How many of you heard about Lady of Liberty, or the statue of the Lady of Liberty? How many of you heard that or seen in an image? Right. Oh, many of you. Good. So you see this golden age in this 2012, it's a shifting where we are letting go of a lot of old stuffs, a lot of old systems of economy, of politics, of governments, even at the very physical level. The planet is shifting. And the masters say, this is just the beginning. And it's not to, shrink or fear about it. You see, every time a shift comes up, the human ego, it tends to resist that, wondering that the next phase, the next step, is going to be tougher, or it's going to be more demanding. Maybe they won't be able to handle that, etc., etc. But you see, life is evolution. Everything keeps changing. Right now it's 10:10 p.m. here Indian time. After an hour it would be 11:10 p.m. It has to change. This is the law. And change is evolution. Change is evolution. If you think that time is changing but you are not, your situations are not changing, it means you are feeling stuck. And if you feel that you're feeling stuck, 99.99% the possibilities are that you're ignoring divine guidance. It's not to put anyone on a guilt ride, but asking ourselves clearly, what do we fear? Why do we fear that? Perhaps maybe you are given guidance to lose your body weight, and in your family there's this culture of having a lot of fat adding food, a lot of sugar, too much candy, too much of fat causing stuffs. if it's going on, and if you think you just cannot leave it, well, ask yourself why. Why I'm asking myself to leave it once and for all? Can't I find a middle way, a middle path, where I can enjoy bits and pieces, yet maintain my body weight? Why am I not exercising? Perhaps it might be coming from the fear of looking beautiful. That could be coming from a childhood abuse, yes, or it could be coming from a past lifetime. You never know. But whatever the case is, whatever the root is, the ultimate solution, the ultimate answer is you doing the work. You can go to a channel, have a wonderful channeling or reading. The channeler would tell you have to do this, and make it on a slower pace. You don't try to, jump off in one go. So, how much benefit you receive from a session, from a particular reading, depends upon you. Okay? And in these times of shifts, this 2012, it's a lot of energy of shifting, change. In the morning we talked about the Blessed Ganga, and some wonderful synchronicities happened. We also talked a bit about Lord Shiva, the bringer of change, constructive destruction, how we change our policies, to think about particular systems. Maybe if in the past, maybe it was a belief system that I need to fear God. Maybe that helped you previously. But now, your heart might be asking you to shift it to God loves me. I do so and so because I love God. I do not do so and so because I love God. Coming from the love-based perspective. The angels always say that anytime we take a decision out of fear, it might appear that it is giving a certain, out products or an output, but it's not there in the long run, especially in these 2012 energies. The shift already started from 2010 onwards already. And every time you come from a love-based perspective, you anchor it permanently in your soul. Let's again use a very simple example of losing body weight. If you have a partner and you don't want their attention to go off from you, and you wonder that someone might snatch away your partner, and that is the reason you should be looking beautiful, men and women, both of you. And you think because you don't want to lose your partner, you start losing body weight. You go to gym, you eat right, do this and that. That's one perspective that might not necessarily work on, because to a relationship, it's not just the physical body, flesh, it's also our emotional, mental makeup as well. Many of the light workers, who have recently joined up their light worker mission, might be finding themselves aloof, a kind of away, strangeness among their old friends, or even among their partners. They're thinking about moving on to the kind of people they spend time with. How many of you feeling like that? I get many messages about it. Right. So this is just one of the signs that shows, hey, this is just not a physical body. It's way, way much more. And so that's one aspect as to why you would like to lose your weight. The second aspect would be because it feels great to exercise. It feels great to release those happy hormones in my brain, the serotonin, this oxytocin in my brain. And because I love myself, I do it. I eat right because I love myself. I eat right because I love myself. I don't feed my body that stuff which is not serving it. Do you see the difference? And so if you're coming from a second perspective, chances are that you will be highly, highly successful in what? Losing your diet. Another very wonderful topic would be money. I'm guided about, to talk about the money and the energy of money and our coming webinars, maybe entire workshop on that, not so sure, but definitely guided about it. So for light workers, many of you have been monks and nuns in the past lives, and they had kind of renunciated almost every material object. And every time they move into a so-called huge building, it's a five-star building, maybe into a house of a very rich businessman, even when they're sitting there, they don't feel comfortable. They feel like moving out. They feel like they don't belong here. How many feel like that? How many feel like that when you move to a really, rich kind of building? Maybe it's an ancient monument like the Taj Mahal, and you step inside and you feel like, I don't belong here. Or you feel like I should actually go out of there. Or in heritage hotels as well. That includes heritage hotels as well, right? It could be coming from a past lifetime. Okay, that might have served you in the past, but no longer now. In the new age, you are being called to be involved in the nitty-gritty of life, including paying your bills, paying your rent, buying your own house, having a comfortable vehicle, having a wonderful financial flow so that you can help others as well. And it's not just about you. You see, try to understand from the point of that, if you allow yourself to receive more, if you allow yourself to receive more comfortably energy, resources, you would be in a better position to help others. The great saint from India, Sri Ramakrishna Paramhamsa, used to say that you cannot feed on an empty stomach. You cannot feed on an empty stomach. That's a transmission itself. That's a food for thought. And it's a beautiful, Angel MP3 by Doreen Virtue. You can go to Doreen Virtue podcasts and look for Angel Therapy for Abundance. She guides you through this entire abundance thing, and it's available for free. Although it might show like $1 when you buy it, but when you check out, it shows $0. It has helped me tremendously, and I hope you can go there and see for it as well. Okay? And the next point is to understand that money is just an energy. It is not something evil. Especially in New Age, some people almost think about money, it's almost like evil. It's almost evil. And have a lot of judgment towards it, towards the people who have it, and all of that. So if you start to come from this love perspective, because I love myself, I deserve an abundant life, I deserve a life free of financial worries. Repeat after me verbally for now. I deserve a life free of financial worries. Close your eyes. I deserve a life free of financial worries. I deserve a life full of abundance. I deserve a life full of abundance. You may open your eyes. How many felt expanded? Something inside you was expanding when you were saying these words. How many of you felt that? And how many felt there was a kind of constriction when we said this word, I deserve full abundance? The second affirmation, right? So if you experience that, possibilities are that you are somehow blocking the flow of finances in your life. So ask yourself how. Call upon angels of finances, and you will find most of the time that it's coming from guilt of having a lot of money, or judgment about energy of money perhaps, or maybe the environment where you grew up. There were also talks about money. It's an entire webinar on its own. That's the reason I didn't want to get into it. Back to the point. The point is, if you come from the love perspective that you deserve money, and you want to express love to your fellow beings through your services, through donations, your charities, you will automatically attract more of it. But if you think that money is bad, and there is a limited amount, and if I have a lot, it might mean I'm stealing from someone else somehow. That's a fear-based perspective. So you see, you can discuss this love-based perspective in all situations of your life, relations, career, job, and all of that. The ego might come up and say, oh, life is not that easy. It might happen for Narmada Akshat, but not for you. Because the ego fears your expansion. Right now, every person listening to this MP3, this webinar right now, all of you deserve abundance because you are a child of God. Doesn't matter what others told you, doesn't matter what you told to yourself. You are a child of the cosmos. I always say to take a moment and think about your breaths, how it comes and goes, 24/7, 365. What is that force which loves you so much? What is that force that loves you so much, that gives you this breath of life? What is that source? That source is love. And it can not only provide you with this gift of life, which most of the humans are doing, it can provide you with everything. Everything. It can satiate all forms of hunger at all levels. How do you connect with that? Meditation, lifestyle. Okay? So when you allow this energy of love to pour into you, you experience freedom. Freedom from karma, freedom from feeling victimized by your past, freedom from feeling victimized by a government, by certain groups, from an ex-lover who was perhaps abusive, or a sibling, or a parent somehow, or even your boss. Freedom. When you start to live your life from the perspective of love, you embrace true freedom. The bottom line. So today we're going to talk about the Lady of Liberty. I won't go into history, it will require a lot of time. Simply go to Google, search about her. Lady of Liberty is one of the Synod Masters of light. Of course, when you say the word master, we are referring to, as a lady as well. It's like the actor. You can use the term actor for both. We do not have any intention to, ignore the Divine Feminine. And most of you attend our webinars, you know that how much we respect the Divine Feminine. Anyway, so this Blessed Lady of Liberty, the Goddess of Liberty, some say, is one of the members of the Lords of Karma. They decide what you are going to experience in a certain lifetime. What it means is what kind of experiences, what kind of body you will be there with, what kind of circumstances, and on and on and on. Major themes in the life, maybe meeting your soulmate, or maybe even break up from a so-called soulmate, and how you deal with that. All of this, it's decided by the laws of karma along with your I am presence before your birth. Anyways, we never ask you to believe in whatever we just say or blabber here. We are not at all about that. Just use discernment and just take whatever makes sense to you. Okay? And Lady of Liberty is also inspired by the beautiful goddess Liberta, the Roman goddess. Although we say it's a Roman goddess, it's a Buddhist deity, it's a Christian deity, you see, beings of light, it's Archangel Michael, Lord Ganesha, Lord Shiva, Muhammad, Moses. They don't care about our petty human stuff, they don't care which religion you belong to. How many of you are aware that Archangel Gabriel was responsible for, telling Blessed Mary that, you're going to give birth to the Blessed Christ? How many of you have heard that? Right. Yeah, that was Archangel Gabriel. And then how many of you are aware that the same Archangel referred in Quran is known as Archangel Jibrail? he channeled, or kind of he spoke about this book to Prophet Muhammad. How many of you heard about that? Right. You see, it's the same being of light. What the task is, the angelic task, is to make sure that we are in peace with each other, and that will start with you, one person at a time. Sometimes people ask me, oh, if I'm calling upon Archangel Michael or Ascended Master Saint Germain, am I worrying them? No, you're not. If you keep thinking like that, possibilities are that you're having parental issues, and it's highly recommended that you go ahead and have a counseling with a spiritual life coach that can help you to release that. And another thing would be issue of self-worth. Another thing would be that we think that these beings of light, which are operating in higher dimensions of time and space, are limited like we humans, right? We humans are known to be in a certain place in a certain time, right? We cannot be in two places, at least for now. But these beings of light, they can be with millions and millions of people. All you got to do is just call for them, ask them. It was amazing today in the morning, as we were talking about the Blessed Ganga. I posted my profile, how a wonderful series, they talk about social awareness. They were talking about the Blessed River, Ganga. You see, they have their own signs. Not only the angels give signs, but all the deities, every single spiritual being that you respect in the inner worlds, they can give you signs if you want to ask for. Okay, if you want, hey, I want to see it. Okay. And so, the major task of the Lady of Liberty is movement, taking care of the major revolutions of the history, liberating people, mass revolution, especially with the Book of Knowledge. So what is this Book of Knowledge? How many of you heard about this term, Book of Knowledge? Book of Knowledge. How many have heard about this term? Right. It is said that the Book of Knowledge is somewhere up in the heavens, guarded by the blessed beings like Archangel Metatron, Akasha record keepers. It contains the entire history of a soul's record. What kind of soul you have been before. There is never a good soul or a bad soul. There is always a learning soul, infant soul, or old soul. So you might see there are some so-called very old people physically, yet they do not understand or have the heart to operate at spirituality. They don't. Or there might be some very young people, incarnate in very young bodies, but when they open up their mouth, you're like, how does this person knows about this stuff? That's the old soul. So do we need to judge it? It's about superiority, inferiority? No. It's just about experience. Every single person is on his right track. The ultimate line is, everyone is doing the best they can in a present given moment. What happened when the blessed Christ was crucified? What happened? He said, Lord God, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Right? And I would like to read out my article before we move ahead in a lecture. It's very, very important. When people start to say, oh my gosh, I've wasted my life, I'm not good enough, and things like that. Again, it's heavy vibration. You don't want to be carrying this into your field. It's more important to start with self-acceptance. So I've written this article from, at a so-called discussion with one of these organizations, and they had this typical lines that we are the highest path, and etc., etc. God bless their hearts. Anyways, I don't want to get there. So here goes the article. You can read it in my profile as well. It writes that, isn't it funny when people talk about competition in our spiritual journey? Where we are all at the right place of our awareness of the I am that I am. All is in divine order. It doesn't mean that we should stop doing our part in the refinement of our consciousness, but it also means not looking at other people's lessons, even if they are so-called more evolved than us. The blessed light is within all, and no path is superior or inferior than the others. The ones who say, "My path is the only one and the best one," are not appreciating the variety and uniqueness of the human souls. Remember about the so-called organized religions. What happened when the founders completed their missions and left their physical bodies? The disciples developed factions or even groups. The point is not to judge each other, but the point is to respect every single path and follow your bliss, the very calling of your soul, which says, "This is right for you, and that is not where you're meant to go." As the Blessed Dalai Lama says, if someone is not walking your path, it doesn't mean they are lost. Okay? It was just randomly, you can say, channeled from the I Am Presence, because I was kind of, I really respect this organization still. I still recommend people its books. Every time recommending an author, a certain organization, doesn't mean I'm resonating with it 100%. But what I'm asking is, you just draw the essence. As in Bhagavad Gita they say, a wise person is one who is like a bee. They draw in from different flowers, different nectars. Okay, and definitely they are needed. They are a part of the plan. So, I was kind of feeling kind of hurt, when I got this reply, and so this message came forth very, very strongly. And thank you very much for a wonderful comment on the article. So you see, true freedom comes from love. If you want freedom from your current financial situation, your current home, you don't like the place where you live, a current relationship, you will need to start with accepting it as it is now. It is not that accepting and doing nothing. It simply is totally accepting it and beginning to find the love behind it. What it means is beginning to appreciate what you have right now, even if it's just a roof, feeling gratitude, feeling appreciative towards it. I hope you're aware about Abraham material, right? And I'm going to use it in my own words. They say that there's not a point in your experience of life. The so-called challenges are the contrast of life, which allows you to project desires, to project expectations into the very matrix of life for what kind of life you wish to have. Resistance, contrasts are a blessing. Without them, you do not know what you actually want. There is nothing, a moment of time, in a given space, that cannot be appreciated for what it is. So, projecting love into the present situation. If you think your government is kind of nasty with you, project love. Pray for the government. Project love through yourself. Channel love energy through you. Not trying to fix them up, but simply sending love. That's it. Just pure love energy. Starting with your own body. How many of you are aware about the Taoist practices? TAO, Taoist practices. Heard about it, right? And one of the powerful meditation that they do is inner smile meditation and the body love meditation. You can find it at YouTube. Look for Jasmine's video. She talks a bit about it. The inner smile meditation is about closing your eyes and smiling into different organs of your body, saying thank you, feeling gratitude towards them. And Jasmine once told me that there was she was there for a certain workshop. I don't remember the place. And the student came in, and he was in, a terrible skin condition, terrible. And then next year, I guess, 1 year after, when she visited the same place, the student came forth again, and he was looking all shiny and bright. And she said, "What did you do?" And he said, "I did nothing. All I did was every day spend a certain amount of time with my body, and tell my body, I love you, I love you, I love you. Body, I love you, I love you, I love you. Body, I love you, I love you, I love you. And he had this freedom from the so-called incurable skin condition. So you see, that's the power of love. The power of love creates you. The power of love holds the very atoms and molecules in the cosmos. There's a holding force behind that. There's a releasing force. Love is the ultimate glue. Love is the ultimate freedom. Love is the ultimate light. Love is the ultimate wisdom. Or the essence of every single religion, if you see, it comes back to love. So you see, Lady of Liberty, when we think that, she's like a bold lady, she's one of the lords of karma, she must be very judgmental. But you see, I organized this Laws of Karma series some months back. We met wonderful masters who work in this karmic board. How many of you were there? A few months back when you organized the, Laws of Karma series, you were channeling some of the laws of karma. Okay. So we realize that these beings of light are very loving, are full of light, are full of compassion. Even Goddess Kuan Yin, the Blessed Goddess of Mercy, the Buddha of Mercy. And so you see, Lady of Liberty is not just about, fixing your karma or where you're going to do what. In fact, destiny and free will go hand in hand. I know it sounds controversial, but it's a detailed topic. Definitely cannot go into a single session like this. So Lady of Liberty helps with illumination, giving you ideas, enlightenment, and Lady of Liberty also helps you to have financial support for your education. If you're a student, even if you are a student and say you want to learn certain healing arts and saying that you won't be having enough funds for that, a certain course that will qualify you for something that you really, really want, she can help you. Lady of Liberty can help you to pass through the dark night of the soul. How many of you heard this term, dark night of the soul? Is a popular phrase. Dark night of the soul, you can Google it. It's like a term which means that it's like you're in the lowest point of your life, feeling all alone. So the Lady of Liberty can help you with, like a shining torch, help you to ignite your inner light. Lady of Liberty also helps you with self-esteem and patriotism for your country. How many of you felt that Lady of Liberty, the statue of the Lady of Liberty, is very much connected with patriotism? You feel kind of a feeling of highness a feeling of pride comes in, positive pride. I mean, how many of you experience that ever? Every time when you see that, even when you're not an American citizen, you just feel so high within you, in your throat, in your heart, right? So patriotism definitely helping you to understand the laws of the country, helping you to go along with the structure, the legal laws, and respect them. And Lady of Liberty, if you would see the statue, there's this shining, there's a crown. It's shining like sun rays. What it means is her head is as bright as the sun. What it means actually is illuminating our minds with new ideas, with revolution, with evolution. She can help you to clear your energy fields, give you new ideas like the aha moment. How many of you heard about this word, Eureka? The great scientist Archimedes. How many of you heard about this word, right? So if you wanted a Eureka kind of thing, work with the Lady of Liberty. If you want to do something new, she can help you. You see, these transmissions of inventions, they are not actually discovered. They are not actually discovered. They're implanted into the prepared minds. So if you think you're into science, a wonderful scientific discovery would be implanted to you. A thought would come to you. Why we cannot do like this or that? If you're an architect, wonderful designs would be implanted into your consciousness. If you're a healer, wonderful techniques would be implanted. and on and on. How many heard about Nikola Tesla? Nikola Tesla, the great Nikola Tesla. Right? Not many of us are aware about him. The Nikola Tesla, that great scientist, is known, that he used to receive the inspiration in his mind, and what happened is this energy, whatever inspiration he had, he didn't have to write down in the papers. He didn't have to do that. No writing down the papers. Okay, and he would just simply go ahead with the experiment. If you think that you're a scientist, you would definitely need to write it down, figure out the pros and cons. But him, he just used to receive inspiration and go ahead with that. Dr. Stone used to say that Nikola Tesla was belonged to the soul family of Melchizedek. Melchizedek is the universal logos, the universal deity in charge of the current evolution. Every single master, every single religion that has ever came forth for the earth, of our entire universe, especially of the solar system, they say that they come from the order of Melchizedek. How many have heard about this phrase, the order of Melchizedek? Right? So these great teachers, they come forth from there. It's like the teachings are downloaded. It's universal, like the law of gravity. It doesn't care if you're an Eastern, a Western, or a Northern, or a South, or even if you live in Hollow Earth. It doesn't matters. What matters is your light. And Lady of Liberty also helps you to dissolve so-called psychic attacks, so-called illusions about yourself, including pride, including low self-esteem, giving you a perspective of balance. You see, the ego is very happy. The ego says, oh, I'm richer than you. Oh, I'm poorer than you. I'm more wiser than you. I'm less wiser than you. I'm more beautiful than you. I'm less beautiful than you. It's this up and down game. In this fluctuation of up and down, the ego lives. Alright? And that's where the separation comes from. But the moment you start to see that I am that I am, and so is every person around me, you start to see the greatness, the humbleness. You're down to earth, and you're up to stars. Connection. Remember that the planet Earth is inside this beautiful, beautiful solar system. Alright? So Lady of Liberty helps you with ascension, clearing your so-called karma or lessons in life. Lady of Liberty also helps you to get motivated. So if you think that you are one of these procrastinators of the certain book, project, she can help you with that. Lady of Liberty can help you with understanding different religions, different cultures, see the oneness of them, especially of the countries. Lady of Liberty can help you to let go of racist consciousness, let go of casteism, and a lot of separative kind of things, and she can definitely help you with knowing how much open you are, how much prepared you are like a sponge, to absorb these teachings of light. Right? Sometimes when people start to come to our sessions, or they say, oh my gosh, it seems like I will never be able to comprehend that. Well, yes, it's the ocean. It's the ocean of knowledge. It's the ocean of wisdom. It's an endless process of perfection, right? But Lady of Liberty can help you to let go of that overwhelmness. Okay, and so we can talk about a certain master on and on and on. But this is where I would like to stop. And before that, I would like to share one of my own stories with the Blessed Mahatma Gandhi, one of the Ascended Masters. And it was the 15th of August, I think 2 or 3 years back. And there was this feeling of celebration. In India, we celebrate the Independence Day. the feeling of highness, it's a high vibe going around, happiness kind of thing. You might have experienced that in the weekends. Go out on the weekend or on Sundays morning, you would see, oh my gosh, it's so free. Go out on the weekdays, you would definitely feel the difference, right? So, so the spirit of independence was going around, and suddenly I was just meditating, and the blessed Mahatma Gandhi came in. I was actually thinking that how it would be to contact him, and he came through, and he offered me to write a book of sorts. But I had something else in mind, and I was saying that it was like a thank you, but no thanks kind of thing. It was totally not meant to be disrespectful. Beings of light, when they do see an open channel, they do so-called offer projects. So he told me that he asked me, do you know where true freedom comes from? And I said, true freedom, well, it comes from the government, it comes from the people having their own power. And he said, what if the government was very nice, super nice, and the people were not free of addictions, were not free of ego qualities, were not free of separation? Wouldn't that be a bondage? And I said, yes. So do you see, the government is not responsible? And I said, yes, to a certain degree. And then he said, true freedom comes from within. It was like an aha moment. It was like a transmission. True freedom comes from within. And you can definitely Google about this great being, how he used the power of love and non-violence to help India, move into the new age, the golden age of freedom, independence. Okay? So I hope the story helps you all. I would have loved to take queries, but it's so not possible. We totally respect your time. Your comments, suggestions, feedbacks are welcome at the group, at my page, at the Oasis fan page. And so let's move into the meditation, where we're going to experience the very energies of the Lady of Liberty. Alright? So how many of you are appearing as a single name and you are more than one person? Please let me know. I will set the grid for you. Okay, so all are attending singularly. So it's recommended that you use headphones, because we use some sonic frequencies as well. Or if it's not comfortable, just go with the normal speakers. I'm going to use Ecstasy of Being by Christopher Lloyd Clark. Alright, let us begin. Allowing yourself to get very comfortable, giving yourself permission to breathe, to embrace freedom. Today we're going to integrate justice, oneness, embrace the sonship and daughtership of one Creator, one God. We call for it, for the pearlescent white light of the Lady of Liberty. See it in your mind, in your mind's eye, like a huge ball of light covering the entire group, tuning the entire group for today's journey. forth our guardian angels. We call forth our I Am presence to support us, to bless us during this meditation. We call forth for the very spirits of our nation. Every nation has a Deva guiding to it. We call forth the national Deva. We call forth the blessed Gaia. Feeling ourselves fully grounded with the purest white light. And we become aware of our heart center, the very middle of the chest. Have we noticed a golden sparkling torch of light? Take a moment to see this torch of light and ask yourself what this torch means to you. Be still, be aware of the inner response. Know that you are receiving the right response. During the meditation, some of you might experience memories or thoughts coming up. They're not needed. It's just part of the clearing. Don't fight with it. Simply become aware of the torch at your heart center. This torch is burning sacred light. Asking yourself what this light means to you. We call for the anchoring of the sacred torch into our entire 7 chakras at the base of the spine, beneath the belly button, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus, the middle of the last 2 ribs, the throat center, the Adam's apple area, the third eye center, just above the 2 eyebrows, and our crown center at the top of the head. Noticing as this torch of light transforms any and all heavy energies which might look like webs, dirt or dust, or like grim, allowing it all to be dried and to be offered into the sacred torch of the Lady Almighty, the Lady of Liberty. Dare to embrace the light. Dare to embrace your infinite nature. Dare to know that you are God. And as all of our chakras are sparkling clean, we notice this torch, this flame, this light beginning to expand the size of every single chakra, making it a single column of light. You are now a living embodiment of this torch of freedom. Lady Illumina, one of the ascended masters, helping with the minds of the human race, steps forth and says, "Know that thou art the torch of light. Keep radiating it. Trust your heart, and know that as you radiate this light out, people around you will get affected positively in the highest good base. You are a human torch, a very lighthouse of God's creation. And she waves her hand to open up the very doorways in your atoms. She says, every atom is a doorway to a new universe. As if every single cell of your body, every single pore of your body is radiating this blessed light. Every particle of you is radiating nothing but pure light. Take a moment to feel yourself like a lighthouse, connected with this infinite source of energy. It's coming from within. Seeing yourself like a pure light body. And take a moment to connect with the energy of each other who has joined up in the group. Just sending out this light from inside of you, radiating it out. Feeling each other's strength, each other's light, each other's stories. And noticing the collective light of the group, illuminating the entire planet. The entire planet is lighted. Feel this light. Channel this light through your entire beingness and this collective group into the nature devas, the nature angels, the gardens of nature, into the very rocks, the very plants. The more you radiate, the more powerfully this force is channeled through you. Just pure light, pure illumination, radiating into the entire planet, uplifting the very aura of the earth, making the aura of the earth much more brighter, clearing the fogginess, the confusion, the glamour, illusion of separation. Just take a moment. Powerful light. Lady of Liberty is also anchored a gigantic torch into the very heart of the globe, facilitating the clearing and uplifting of the planet's consciousness. Feeling this light, illuminating, blessing the waters of the earth, the very soil of the earth. Feeling the strength of this gigantic torch and your own self. Just keep radiating through your beingness. True freedom comes from within. 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 Separation begets fear. Oneness is love. Separation is fear. Oneness is love. And now we notice around the entire planet, more Lady Masters joined up today, like the Vatkaif Buffalo woman, the goddess of the Native Americans, the pleasant masters of our time. We are connecting our energy with the very etheric retreats, the ashrams of the various masters, in the physical plane and the inner planes, connecting our energies with the very pyramids, with the very ancient societies that has influenced the globe positively. The religions, the temples, the churches, the mosques, the New Age groups, the pyramids, the Freemasonry, Theosophy, and so much more. As if we are sending out this light and receiving back through these vortices of light. Today we are in many places in one time, experiencing the powerful energies of all of the sacred spots of the planet, the sacred societies, the groups of humanity, the minds of humanity. Feel your aura like a breathing in and breathing out, expansion and contraction, expansion and contraction, like an energy exchange that's going on. And we call forth for the sacred star of justice to illuminate the political buildings, to eliminate the boundaries of the nations, to eliminate the educational system, the economic system, the media, the arts. We call for it, for the divine intervention of the Lady of Liberty, Lady Nada, the Lady of Justice, Blessed Lakshmi and Blessed Mary, to bless and transform the very financial system of the globe, so that all children of the light, of all ages, can be fed, educated, provided for. Feel from the center of the heart of the globe the sacred sun of abundance that is anchored, illuminating the entire globe from the inside out. It's a shower of abundance, a shower of thought forms that says, there's more than enough for everyone. There's more than enough for everyone. Bask in the sacred presence of these prosperity energies. Such abundance, such freedom, such peace in your heart, your mind, and your stomach. You've anchored the very blueprints for the planet. It is in giving that we receive. This is the law. Feeling your essence expanded, still channeling light through every pore of your beingness. feeling such abundance running through the globe, such distribution. We call forward for the extra angels of love and light to surround our globe, to surround every living being, every human being. We call forward for extra angels of love and light. We call forth for the sacred ray of freedom to illuminate the very atmosphere of the planet. And in the sacred base, Lady of Liberty anchors the beautiful Merkaba of pure starlight, the shape of the Star of David. And we soul travel to our ashram, the etheric retreat of alignment, of justice. And here we are, stepping onto the very solid foundation of gold. The abundant, expansive retreat of this Master. The Blessed Lady touches your forehead, transferring light information to be encoded into your very DNA, so that you can incorporate freedom and experience freedom if you are willing to receive. Much has been given and much is expected. And she anchors the beautiful torch of light in your dominant hand and a sacred book of knowledge into your non-dominant hand. And together we raise this torch. We send out the energy of this torch up into the ether as like fireworks, circulating around the globe, aligning, realigning the very meridians, the very nervous system of the earth. You are powerful. Deep, fine breaths. In your mind's eye, you can see the planet Earth, the meridians of the planet, light up, aligned. And we notice this light beginning to heal the very air of the planet, placing a beautiful golden violet cocoon around the planet, changing the very air of the planet. And as we ask for this grid to be anchored permanently and to be absorbed by the earth in its divine time, we call forth for the angels of architecture, millions and millions of angels of architecture, to form, to assist in this new anchoring, this new blueprint of Mother Gaia, and the Lady of Liberty touches your crown, further transferring a downpour of sacred laser-like golden energy. We call for it in the sacred healing process. The Vishwakarma Deva, the divine architect, to align the very thought forms, the positive thought forms of humanity. And we call forth millions of torches of light to be anchored into the very corners of the globe, to dissolve all of the old thought forms of separation, duality, prejudice, fear. We call for the Archangel Michael and his band of mercy to surround this healing process of Mother Gaia and humanity itself. We are clearing the very egregores of the planet that might have been there for millions and millions of years, visualizing the entire planet. We call forth for the sacred assistance of the Lady Nada to attune the vibrations of the planet with that of the heart and mind of Source. Feel the transmission. And as a divine intervention, divine dispensation, we call forth the opening of the doorway of grace, the angels of grace to surround and flood the planet with golden pink light, and escort away heavy karmic energies that are no longer serving us, serving the humanity, from ourselves, from ancestors, our generations, descendants, allowing it all to be uplifted, washed away with this beautiful presence of the angels of grace. And we notice the Lady of Liberty hovering in the very center of the earth. And we notice her torch providing a golden indigo cover background to the planet. And she says, notice the air, notice the sky. Crystal clear. Clarity is what you have invoked for, and clarity shall be given. The more you work in conjunction with your I Am presence, with that innermost diamond, you realize the utmost clarity of life. You learn to see life as it is. And you find ourselves surrounded by the beautiful green cocoon of light of Gaia, to help us integrate today's transmission with joy, ease, and grace, to help us align our very beingness, our very atoms, the very DNA, with these new energies. The channeling process is stopped through your body. Know that every time you think positive, you feel happy, you do good, you are channeling light. Fine and deep breaths, taking a moment to allow the physical system integrate today's transmission. So it is. We return back to our bodies, to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, spiritual teachers, sacred archangels, beings of light, and to all the great ones. Thank you for your priceless blessings. Thank you for helping us to understand that we are the masters of our life. True freedom comes from within. We give great thanks to our ego for saying a yes. Feeling ourselves already grounded, we call for the Archangel Sandalphon to anchor temporarily the crystal of grounding around your body, to balance your heaven and earth energies, becoming aware of your stomach and the flow of breaths, gradually moving your fingers and your toes, and at your own pace, you may open your eyes with a big, big smile.